God is begging you to open this message. Not suggesting, not recommending, begging. Because what I'm about to tell you is so urgent, so time-sensitive, so life-altering that if you miss it, if you dismiss it, if you ignore it, you could lose the most beautiful thing that's ever been offered to you. There is someone in your life right now who secretly loves you. Not likes you, not has a crush on you, loves you deeply, completely, desperately. They've been carrying this love in silence for weeks, months, maybe even years. They've been watching you, thinking about you, dreaming about you, praying about you. And tonight, something is going to break inside them. Tonight, the weight of keeping this secret is going to become too heavy to carry. Tonight, they're going to confess everything. Tonight, they're going to tell you the truth about how they feel. And what you do with that confession, how you respond, whether you're ready to receive it or not, is going to determine the entire trajectory of your romantic life from this point forward. That I know that sounds dramatic. I know you're probably skeptical. I know you might be thinking no one loves me in secret. I would know, I would feel it. But that's where you're wrong. This person has been extremely careful to hide their feelings. They've been protecting themselves. They've been afraid of rejection, afraid of ruining the relationship you already have, afraid of making things awkward or uncomfortable, afraid of losing you entirely by wanting more than you're willing to give. So they've mastered the art of hiding their love behind friendship, behind casual interactions, behind normalcy. They smile when they're dying inside. They act cool when they're burning with desire. They pretend they're fine with whatever relationship you have now, while secretly longing for so much more. But tonight, the dam breaks. Tonight, the wall crumbles. Tonight, they can't hold it in anymore. Something is going to push them over the edge. Maybe they're going to see you with someone else, and jealousy is going to force their hand. Maybe they're going to have a moment of clarity that life is too short to live in fear. Maybe they're going to be drunk or emotional or just finally fed up with pretending. Maybe God is going to give them a supernatural boldness. However it happens, tonight they're going to open their mouth and words are going to come out that they've been rehearsing in their head for months. Words that terrify them. Words that make them vulnerable. Words that could change everything between you. And God is begging you to open this message because He wants you prepared. He wants you aware. He wants you ready to receive what's coming with the right heart and the right spirit. He doesn't want you to be blindsided. He doesn't want you to react poorly out of shock. He doesn't want you to say something you'll regret because you weren't expecting this. He doesn't want you to miss your soulmate because you were caught off guard and responded from confusion instead of clarity. So He sent me with this message to prepare you, to warn you, to help you understand what's about to happen and what you need to do about it. Let me tell you who this person is. I'm going to describe them, and as I do, a face is going to come into your mind. A name is going to surface. Someone specific is going to be highlighted in your spirit. Pay attention to that. That's not random. That's God revealing who we're talking about. That's the Holy Spirit confirming the truth of this message. Don't dismiss it. Don't rationalize it away. Receive it. This is someone who's been in your life for a while. Not a stranger. Not someone you just met. This is someone who's had time to develop deep feelings. Someone who knows you beyond the surface. Someone who's seen you in different contexts and different moods. Someone who's been close enough to fall in love with the real you, not just the image you project to the world. This person is someone you're comfortable with. Someone you talk to regularly, or at least semi-regularly. Someone who's part of your routine or your circle. You might work with them. You might go to school with them. You might be in the same friend group. You might attend the same church or gym or community space. You might be neighbors. You might have mutual friends. You're in each other's orbit consistently enough that they've had access to you, to your energy, to your personality, to your heart. This is someone you probably think of as just a friend, or maybe just an acquaintance, or maybe just that nice person you know. You've never thought about them romantically because they've never given you obvious signs. They've been so good at hiding their feelings that you've completely missed them. You might even have talked to them about other people you're interested in, not knowing that every word about someone else was a knife in their heart. You might have friend zoned them without even realizing there was something to friend zone. You've been innocent and oblivious while they've been suffering in silence. This person watches you, not in a creepy way, in a love way. They notice things about you that other people miss. They remember things you've said. They pay attention to your moods. They can tell when something's wrong, even when you're pretending everything's fine. They know your patterns, your preferences, your quirks. They've been studying you like a favorite book they never get tired of reading. They see you, really see you, in a way most people don't. This person has been there for you. They've shown up for you in ways you might not have fully appreciated because you thought they were just being a good friend. They've listened to you vent. They've given you advice. They've supported you through struggles. They've celebrated your wins. They've been consistent and present and reliable. And every time they did something for you, it wasn't just friendship. It was love. They were showing you through actions what they couldn't say with words. This person gets jealous when you talk about other romantic interests. You might have noticed they get quiet or change the subject or make excuses to leave when you mention dating someone or being interested in someone. That's not because they don't care. It's because they care too much. It physically hurts them to hear you want someone else. It kills them to watch you chase people who don't deserve you while they're loving you with everything they have. This person has probably dropped hints that you missed. Little comments. Compliments that went a bit beyond casual. Offers to spend time together one-on-one. Asking about your relationship status. Mentioning that you'd be a great partner. Saying things like, whoever ends up with you will be lucky. These weren't random observations. These were tests. These were feelers. These are them dipping their toe in the water to see if there was any possibility you might feel something back. And when you didn't pick up on the hints, they retreated back into silence and safety. This person might be someone you've never considered physically or romantically because they're not your usual type. Maybe they're quieter than people you usually go for. Maybe they're less flashy. Maybe they don't fit the image you had in your mind of your ideal partner. But that doesn't make their love less real or less valuable. Sometimes the person who's perfect for you doesn't look like what you expected. Sometimes God's choice for you is someone you would have overlooked if left to your own preferences and patterns that, I've been describing this person. Someone came to mind. You thought of someone specific. Maybe you're trying to talk yourself out of it, thinking no, it can't be them. But yes, it probably is them. Trust your first instinct. Trust the name or face that appeared when I said someone secretly loves you. That's who we're talking about. That's who's going to confess tonight. That's who you need to be ready for. Now let me tell you exactly how their confession is going to happen. I'm going to give you multiple scenarios because it depends on your specific situation, but one of these is going to resonate and you'll know that's the one. First scenario, they're going to text you tonight, late, after they've been building up courage all day. The text is going to be longer than usual. It's going to start casual, but then it's going to shift. They're going to say something like, I need to tell you something, or I can't keep this inside anymore, or I have to be honest with you. And then they're going to type out their feelings. It's going to be vulnerable and scary and beautiful. And you're going to read it with your heart pounding because you never saw this coming. Second scenario, they're going to call you tonight. Their voice is going to sound different. Nervous, shaky, serious. They're going to ask if you have a minute to talk. They're going to say they need to tell you something important. And then, with fear and courage battling in their voice, they're going to tell you they have feelings for you. They might say they've had these feelings for a long time. They might say they tried to ignore them, but can't anymore. They might say they know this might ruin everything, but they had to tell you. You're going to hear the vulnerability in their voice, and it's going to touch something in you. Third scenario, they're going to show up. Tonight, at your door or wherever you are. Unexpected. You're going to be surprised to see them. They're going to look intense, emotional, determined. They're going to say they needed to see you. They needed to do this in person. And then, looking you in the eyes, they're going to confess. They're going to tell you they're in love with you. They're going to tell you they can't pretend anymore. They're going to lay their heart at your feet and wait to see what you do with it. Fourth scenario, you're going to be together tonight. Maybe you already have plans. Maybe you're going to run into each other. Maybe you're going to be in the same place for some reason. And during that time together, there's going to be a moment, a pause, a shift in energy. And they're going to look at you differently than they usually do. And the words are going to come out. Maybe rushed, maybe slow and deliberate. But they're going to confess. Right there, in real time, face to face. Fifth scenario, they're going to confess through some form of creative expression. A letter, an email, a voice message, maybe even a song or poem or something they created. They're going to pour their heart into written or recorded words because it feels safer than doing it live. You're going to receive this confession in a tangible form that you can read or listen to multiple times. And every word is going to be chosen carefully to express the depth of what they feel. However it comes, the confession is coming tonight. Mark this day. Remember this moment. Because tonight is the night that someone tells you they love you. And not just anyone. Someone who's been loving you in secret. Someone who's been patient and present and hoping. Someone who's about to take the biggest risk of their life by being vulnerable with you. Now here's the most important part of this entire message. What do you do when they confess? How do you respond? This is what God is begging you to understand. This is why He made sure you saw this message before tonight. Your response matters more than you realize. How you handle this confession will impact not just this person, but your own future. Respond wrongly, and you could destroy someone who loves you. Respond wrongly, and you could miss your soulmate. Respond wrongly, and you could create regret that haunts you for years. Well, let me give you guidance on how to respond. First, and most importantly, do not laugh. Even if you're shocked, even if you're nervous, even if your first instinct is to make a joke or laugh it off to ease the tension. Do not laugh. Laughter in this moment would be devastating to them. It would humiliate them. It would make them feel stupid and small and rejected in the cruelest way. Even if you're not interested, even if you don't feel the same way, do not laugh. Treat their confession with the seriousness and respect it deserves. Second, do not immediately reject them. Even if your first thought is, no, I don't feel that way. Don't say it immediately. Take a breath. Take a moment. Let the confession sit. Thank them for their honesty. Thank them for trusting you with their feelings. Tell them you need time to process this. Give yourself space to really consider what they're offering before you make a decision. Sometimes we reject things out of fear or habit or surprise, not because they're actually wrong for us. Give yourself time to really think about it. Third, do not tell other people. If they confess their love to you, that's sacred information. That's private. That's vulnerable. Do not immediately text your friends about it. Do not post about it. Do not gossip. They trusted you with their heart. Honor that trust by keeping it between you and them until you figure out what you want to do. Betraying their confidence will be a terrible way to respond to their courage. Fourth, ask yourself honestly if you could have feelings for them. Not do you have feelings right now, but could you? Is there potential? Is there possibility? Sometimes we don't develop romantic feelings for someone because we put them in a box labeled friend and never let ourselves consider them differently. Now that you know they love you, now that the possibility is on the table, really look at them with fresh eyes. Could this work? Could you see yourself with them? Is there attraction you've been suppressing or denying? Is there compatibility you've been overlooking? Really consider it before you decide. Fifth, think about the kind of love they're offering. This isn't someone who's casually interested. This is someone who loves you enough to risk everything to tell you. This is someone who's been patient. This is someone who knows you and still wants you. This is someone who's not just attracted to your surface, but has fallen in love with who you actually are. That kind of love is rare. That kind of love is valuable. That kind of love is what most people spend their whole lives searching for. You have it right in front of you. Don't dismiss it carelessly. Sixth, pay attention to how you feel physically when they confess. Does your heart race? Do you feel warm? Do you feel excited or happy or relieved? Or do you feel uncomfortable and wrong and like you want to escape? Your body knows the truth before your mind figures it out. If there's any positive physical response, any flutter of attraction or possibility, pay attention to that. That's your chemistry speaking. That's your soul responding. Don't ignore it. Seventh, consider your dating history. Be honest with yourself. Have you been choosing the wrong people? Have you been chasing people who don't treat you well? Have you been ignoring good people in favor of exciting people who ultimately hurt you? If that's been your pattern, maybe God is trying to redirect you. Maybe this person who secretly loves you is actually what you need, even if they're not what you've been choosing. Maybe it's time to break your pattern and try something different. Eighth, pray about it. Before you respond definitively, before you make a decision, ask God what to do. Ask Him if this person is meant for you. Ask Him if you should give this a chance. Ask Him to show you the truth. Ask Him to remove any blindness or confusion. Ask Him to guide you. God knows the future. God knows what's best for you. God knows if this confession is a divine setup or a distraction. Seek His wisdom. Ninth, if you decide to give it a chance, be all in. Don't half commit. Don't treat them like an experiment. Don't keep one foot out the door while you see if someone better comes along. If you're going to say yes to exploring this connection, honor them by being present and genuine. Get a real shot. They deserve that after having the courage to confess. You deserve that too. Either commit to trying or let them go. Don't string them along. 10th, if you decide you don't want to pursue this romantically, let them down with gentleness and respect. Tell them you're honored by their feelings. Tell them you care about them. Tell them they're amazing and they're going to find someone who reciprocates what they feel. Don't make them feel stupid for loving you. Don't make them regret their honesty. Be kind. Be compassionate. Recognize that this was hard for them and respect their vulnerability even as you decline. Now let me tell you what happens if this person is actually your soulmate and you say yes to giving this a chance. Let me tell you what your life could look like if you receive this confession as the gift it is. First, you're going to experience a love that's different from anything you've had before. This is someone who already knows you and loves you. You don't have to pretend. You don't have to perform. You don't have to hide your flaws or your mess. They've already seen it all and they want you anyway. That creates safety. That creates depth. That creates the kind of intimacy most people never experience. Second, you're going to have a relationship built on friendship. You already have history. You already have inside jokes and shared memories. You already have trust and comfort. Those are things most couples have to build from scratch. You're starting with a foundation. That makes everything stronger. That makes everything easier. You're not trying to figure out if you're compatible. You already know you are. Third, you're going to be with someone who chose you. Not because you were convenient. Not because you were available. Not because you pursued them. They chose you. They looked at you and decided you were worth the risk. They looked at you and saw forever. That level of intentional choice is powerful. That level of certainty is rare. You're going to be with someone who's sure about you from day 1. Forth. You're going to have a partner who's patient and steady. Someone who loved you quietly for months or years has already proven they're not impulsive or flaky. They're serious. They're committed. They're in it for real. You're not going to deal with someone who runs at the first sign of difficulty. You're going to have someone who stays. Someone who fights for the relationship. Someone who's loyal. Fifth, you're going to wake up every day knowing you're loved. Not having to question it. Not having to wonder. Not having to beg for attention or affection. You're going to be with someone whose love for you is already established and deep. You're going to feel secure. You're going to feel chosen. You're going to feel treasured. And that security creates the kind of peace that allows love to flourish. Sixth, your friends and family are probably going to say, finally, or we saw this coming, or we've been hoping you two would get together. Often the people around us see what we can't see. They see the way this person looks at you. They see the chemistry. They see how good you are together. When you finally get together, don't be surprised if the people who love you are thrilled and not surprised at all. Seventh, you're going to look back on this night as the night your life changed. You're going to tell the story of how they confessed to everyone. You're going to remember the fear and the excitement and the moment you decided to say yes. This is going to be your how we got together story. This is going to be the beginning of your forever. And it's going to be beautiful. But let me also tell you what happens if this is your soulmate and you say no. Let me tell you what you're going to lose if you reject this confession. First, you're going to lose them. Not just romantically. They're not going to be able to stay in your life as just a friend after confessing love and being rejected. It hurts too much. They're going to distance themselves. They're going to pull back. They're going to move on. That person who's been there for you, who's been consistent and supportive and present, is going to disappear from your life. And you're going to miss them more than you expected. Second, you're going to wonder what if for the rest of your life. Every time a relationship doesn't work out, you're going to think about the person who loved you that you rejected. You're going to wonder if you made a mistake. You're going to wonder what your life would have been like if you'd said yes. That wondering is going to haunt you. That question is going to linger forever. Third, you're going to watch them move on. They're not going to wait for you forever. They're going to heal. They're going to meet someone else. They're going to fall in love again. And you're going to see them happy with someone else. You're going to see them giving to someone else the love they wanted to give you. And it's going to hurt. It's going to hurt in a way you didn't expect. Because watching someone else get what you rejected makes you realize what you actually lost. Fourth, you're going to compare everyone you date to them. You're going to notice that other people don't know you like they did. Other people don't care like they did. Other people don't love you with the same depth and patience and intentionality. And you're going to realize that what you rejected was rare. That what you had available to you was special. And you threw it away. Fifth, you might never find love like that again. Not everyone gets offered the kind of love where someone knows you and still chooses you. Not everyone gets the opportunity to be with someone who's proven their loyalty and consistency before the relationship even starts. If you reject this, you might spend years or decades searching for something this good again. You might never find it. I'm not saying all of this to pressure you or scare you into saying yes. I'm saying it so you make an informed decision. I'm saying it so you understand what's at stake. I'm saying it so you don't make a decision flippantly or carelessly and then regret it later. Take this seriously. Treat this with the weight it deserves. Someone is about to hand you their heart tonight. What you do with it matters. Now let me address different scenarios. For those of you who are already in relationships, this message might be confusing or uncomfortable. But here's the thing. Sometimes God allows disruption because we're with the wrong person. Sometimes He sends someone to confess feelings because He's trying to show us there's something better available. I'm not telling you to cheat. I'm not telling you to be disloyal. But I'm saying that if someone confesses love to you tonight and it makes you question your current relationship, maybe that questioning is necessary. Maybe you're not where you're supposed to be. Maybe you're settling. Ask yourself honestly, am I happy? Am I fulfilled? Am I with the right person? If the answer is no, then this confession might be God's way of giving you an exit and a better option. For those of you who are single but have been hurt before, you might be tempted to reject this confession out of fear. You might be thinking, I can't go through that pain again, or I don't want to ruin what we have, or what if it doesn't work out? Those fears are valid, but don't let fear make your decisions. Don't let past pain steal your future joy. This person is not your ex. This situation is not your past. You can't live your whole life protecting yourself from hurt. Sometimes you have to be brave enough to try. Sometimes you have to risk being hurt again for the possibility of being loved right this time. For those of you who've been waiting for the one and have a very specific picture of what that person looks like, this confession might challenge your expectations. The person confessing might not match your mental image. They might not be who you thought you'd end up with. But sometimes God's plan looks different from our plan. Sometimes the person who's right for us doesn't match our list. Be open to being surprised. Be willing to let God rewrite your story in a better way than you imagined. For those of you who've been hurt by this specific person before, who have history that's complicated, this confession might bring up old wounds. Maybe you were interested in them before and they didn't reciprocate. Maybe they hurt you in some way. Maybe there's baggage between you. If that's the case, you need to really evaluate if you can forgive and move forward or if there's too much history. Sometimes people grow and change and become ready for what they weren't ready for before. Sometimes second chances are beautiful, but sometimes history should stay history. Only you can know which this is. Let me give you signs that this confession is from God and this person is meant for you. Sign 1, you feel peace when you think about being with them. Not necessarily butterflies or intense passion, but peace. Deep peace. Like coming home. Like safety. Peace is a strong indicator of God's will. If you feel peace about this person, that's significant. Sign 2, wise people in your life approve of them. Your parents like them. Your close friends think they're good for you. People who love you and want the best for you are supportive of this possibility. When the people who know you best think this is a good match, pay attention. They often see what you can't see. Sign 3, you're better when you're around them. They bring out good things in you. They make you want to be better. They inspire you. They challenge you in healthy ways. They make you laugh. They make you feel good about yourself. Relationships should elevate you. If this person does that, they're probably right for you. Sign 4, you have the same values and vision for life. You want similar things. You believe similar things. You're going in the same direction. Compatibility on the deep issues matters more than chemistry on the surface. If you align on what really matters, that's a strong foundation. Sign 5. When you imagine saying yes, you feel excited rather than dreadful. If the thought of being with them romantically makes you feel happy, curious, hopeful, that's a good sign. If it makes you feel trapped, obligated, or uncomfortable, that's a warning. Now let me tell you what to do right now to prepare for tonight. First, check your phone. Make sure it's charged. Make sure notifications are on. Make sure you'll be able to receive their call or text. Don't be unavailable when they're trying to reach you. Don't miss the confession because you let your phone die. Second, clear your evening. Don't make other plans. Be available. Be present. Tonight is important. Don't be distracted or busy when this moment comes. Give it the attention it deserves. Third, pray right now. Ask God to prepare your heart. Ask Him to give you the right response. Ask Him to remove fear and pride and confusion. Ask Him to help you hear this confession with clarity and respond with wisdom. Prayer changes things. Pray before this happens. Fourth, think about this person right now. Think about who they are. Think about how they've shown up in your life. Think about the qualities they have. Think about whether you could see yourself with them. Start considering this possibility now so you're not completely blindsided when they confess tonight. Fifth, make a decision right now that you will be kind no matter what. Whether you say yes or no, commit to kindness. Commit to respect. Commit to honoring their vulnerability. Don't be cruel. Don't be dismissive. Don't be cold. Be the kind of person who handles someone's heart with care. Let me pray over this situation right now. Bow your head wherever you are. Receive this prayer. Father God, you see this beautiful person listening right now. You see the confession that's coming tonight. You know who it's from. You know what it means. I ask you to prepare their heart. Remove fear. Remove confusion. Remove pride. Give them clarity. Give them wisdom. Give them discernment to know if this is from you. If this person confessing is their soulmate, make it clear. Make them brave enough to say yes. Remove every obstacle. Make the path smooth. Let love win. But God, if this is not your will, make that clear too. Don't let them be led astray by emotion or pressure. Show them the truth. Either way, let them respond with kindness and grace. Protect both hearts in this situation. Let your will be done. Let your plan unfold. We trust you. In Jesus' name, amen. Your assignment is this. First, comment below ready if you receive this message and you're prepared for tonight. That declaration activates spiritual protection and wisdom over this situation. Second, pay attention tonight. Be present. Be aware. Watch for the confession. It's coming. Don't miss it. Third, when it happens, take a breath before you respond. Don't react immediately. Let it settle. Then respond from your spirit, not your fear. Fourth, come back to this video tomorrow or whenever it happens and tell us what happened. Comment update and share your story. Your testimony will encourage others. Your story matters. God is begging you to take this seriously because He knows what's at stake. He knows this confession could be your destiny unfolding. He knows this could be the moment your life changes forever. He loves you too much to let you miss it without warning you. He sent this message to prepare you. He brought you here for a reason. This isn't random. This is divine intervention. This is God caring about your love story. Someone secretly loves you. Tonight they tell you. Tonight everything changes. Are you ready? Are you open? Are you willing to receive what's coming? The confession is hours away. Maybe less. The person is building courage right now. They're rehearsing words. They're praying too. They're scared and brave and about to risk everything. Honor that. Honor them. Honor this moment. This is your love story beginning. This is the night you'll remember forever. This is when someone loved you enough to speak up. What will you say when they do? The answer is up to you. But now you're ready. Now you're prepared. Now you know what's coming. God did His part by warning you. Now you do your part by receiving it well tonight. Someone confesses. Everything changes. Get ready. Your life is about to get beautiful.